Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Go Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I am a healer, and this is the fifth week of the ongoing healing process here on the channel. And it is the third and last week of expansion, where we're going to be looking at beneficial insights. And so, we are going to be bringing through soul messages here in this reading. The energy work for the theme of expansion is already up on the Patreon space, where we have all the healing work linked to this healing process. And so this is a reminder, keep doing that energy work over and over and over again. Energy work works best through repetition. So that being said, let's get right to it and see the soul message that we have. So as mentioned, we are talking beneficial insights. And so, of course, it is expansion through beneficial insights from beneficial insights. I'm not quite sure how Spirit wants to talk about it, but let's see. Yeah, let's cut the deck. There we go. And three cards. We've got be gentle with yourself. Okay. Catch your breath. Wow, I'm sensing a theme here. And a laughter. Interesting. Interesting. They all have something in common that I can't quite place. Okay, it would be the notion of expansion in and of itself. Expansion is always about going beyond, right? Bigger, better, truer. Wherever we are at, we are expanding. And life is naturally expansive. Energy is naturally expansive. And so we are naturally expansive beings. We are always learning. We are always growing. We are always evolving. And so expansion is something that really is it's a beneficial insight to understand fundamentally that expansion is inherent to life, but also to us, to who we are and how we go and how we move through life. We are always more today than we were yesterday, the day before, and so on and so forth. And especially for the soul group who is in alignment with this collective trajectory in terms of the evolution of the human being, and especially for those of you who are in this healing process. And so, that being said, we're going to start with be gentle with yourself, because there is a beneficial insight that Spirit wants to share with you. And I feel like we'll be coming at this time because we have master number 33. And master number 33 is a number of soul growth and soul evolution. It tends to pop up here on the channel. Soul growth and through cycles of soul evolution, right? So soul cycles and all of the soul growth and soul evolution that unfolds naturally within those. Again, that expansive nature at play. And be gentle with yourself is a card that talks about how you're you've already won. You're already kind of like the cresting the wave. You're at the top of the wave, and now it's about riding it out into arrival. And so with this message, Spirit is saying, if you are in a process of soul growth and soul evolution, from the core of it, you've already won. It's that notion about how showing up for the race, you've already won it. When you go to the Olympics, you're already a winner. You're already qualified to go to the Olympics. You can get a gold medal, a silver medal, whatever. You're an Olympian, right? And it's like that. And there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into having the physical aptitude, mental aptitude, and so on to be an Olympian. And it's the same here. We're in the Olympics of soul growth and soul evolution. But there is a message here that it's very beneficial to understand what areas in your life you are at that wave, you are cresting high. And it's very much in the time of the collective that we're learning these lessons, because it's very easy to go on social media, it's very easy to turn on the TV and to have people who are telling you things, especially if they want to sell you something, right? They want to get money out of you, get resources out of you, your time, your attention. And so, whatever they are going to be providing you with is going to be skewed towards that. So, it's very easy to hook people in financially, attention wise, time wise, and so on through the lack and feeding into whatever lack people have. And so the message here is that there's a starting point of understanding in what areas you're good. You're good. I'm good in this area. I'm good when it comes to boundaries. I'm good when it comes to self respect. I'm good when it comes to authenticity. I'm good when it comes to wisdom. I'm good here, right? And again, the expansion, bigger, better, truer. We don't expand through lack. I don't have this, so I'm going to get this and then I will have expanded. That's not an expansive perspective. That's not an alignment with expansion. The alignment with expansion says, I am at this level. That's already good. It's good enough. It's me. It's where I am. It's good enough. I can get better. I can do bigger, better, and truer. And the message here is that there's a gentleness in it, but fundamentally, it's a loving energy alignment, right? It's a loving disposition to have with yourself, and therefore it aligns you with the very loving and very creative and very expansive flow of divine energy, of the universal force of love, right? Love energy. It's about a disposition, and it's about a shift that is going to be very supported at this time. So what I'm getting is, again, this notion of you being you, going through life, and then having situations and circumstances, videos, messages, conversations, things you overhear coming at you with the message, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, seek more, 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 more. Whereas then you can respond from within with the expansive attitude of, I can maybe see something to that, but I'm good enough now, and I want more, and I want more, right? So if you get the image, you're not smart enough, then you go, you know what? First of all, I'm smart enough to read that. Yay, literacy, right? I can get smarter. How can I get smarter? What can I read? What can I see? And it's just such a much more empowered perspective and space and place to come from, to come at it from. And this is necessary because we have Catch Your Breath. And Catch Your Breath is a card that talks about when you've been destabilized, when something happened and you got turned upside down, and then taking that time and taking that space to catch your breath. And so the message here is that this is very necessary to do, and very beneficial to do, because so many of us have been tampered with. Spirit is saying we have been taught on some level and in some ways that we are just not good enough, that we are lacking, and so we've internalized that lack. And recovering from that is not an once moment thing. Now it's done. Now I just don't experience lack anymore, because we're always evolving, we're always expanding, we're always moving into new experiences. And so in those new experiences, we will also have been programmed to lack. So we've been pre-programmed before we're even in the experience. We've been pre-programmed to engage with it from a space of lack. And so we are going to need an ongoing process of stepping into the situation, recognizing that we are stepping into that situation from a previously destabilized space, a previously destabilized position, and then choose a much more stable position, a much more stable approach. Again, that's what beneficial insight is. It's like a disposition where we are looking for what's going to work for us, what's good for us. Again, it's very empowered, right? But it's not about, like, I'm in this situation and I know what's good for me, and then that's it. Then I'm in another situation, I have no idea, I'm not even looking for it. Another situation I am, and so on. It's not an individual set of moments, it's a general disposition and way of being in life. And it requires overcoming past programming to step into that space and that place. Meaning, as we were saying, if you were to look at most people in the world, very few people are actually pursuing their highest good, actively pursuing their highest good. And very many people, myself included, once upon a time, and again, I'm still working on that. It's a ongoing thing with new situations and circumstances, that I was learned to be very self-sacrificial, right? So to sacrifice, that's service, that's love. And so from situation to situation to situation, and also within different life areas, is something that I've learned to untangle and to break down. And a lot of people have that pattern. A lot of people are programmed to give over their own highest good in the interest of someone else. Now we can just look at society, right? How society is organized. The 99 are programmed, are taught, conditioned, and then live in a society that is shaped and molded and functions in such a way that it constrains choices into this one path of the 99, giving over their own highest good, their resources, their money, their time, their values over to the 1%. And this is not, that this is like documented, like you can 1%, 99%, it's numbers, right? And then in terms of how society works, and then you can decide if it's good or it's bad, but it is factual, it is the way that society works. And so when we are products of those societies, we have to question and we have to understand that to arrive back into a state and a space and an alignment where we are seeking our own highest good, that takes work. That takes work. And that fundamentally a good way is to take in, to integrate the instinct, the disposition again towards beneficial engagement, towards showing up and having as part of our perspective what's in it for me. Now, just a moment. I had to take a moment to blow my nose. But the point is, I took that moment, right? It's part of the energy of the message. But this reminds me of a long time ago. I went to a spiritual teacher's event, who shall remain nameless. And while I was at that event, I decided to volunteer because it was a free event. So I went behind stage and I volunteered, like cooking and, like most kitchen stuff, right? And everybody that I met, most of the people that I met were really pissed off. And they've been on tour with that spiritual teacher and they were there as volunteers. And they felt so taken advantage of because of, lots of different rules and events and how it was unfolding. And I especially spent time with a lady who was just really, really very quite close to the spiritual teacher, but also just very, a lot more realistic in talking about that teacher than some of the other people, right? She saw a human being who was performing a very useful service to so many people, again for free, but then the others just saw the deity almost, like it was almost to that level. And it was just eye-opening. And I remember coming back that day, and I used to have another YouTube channel, and on that channel I did a video that was something like self-service and not self-sacrifice, and it was a full moon, and it was just a very powerful energy day, and it was a big initiation for me also on some levels, because I also got to partake in the services offered by that teacher. And so again, there's light, there's dark, there's all of it. But to step into a situation with that teacher and what's going on with them and their energy and for their own reasons, I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, because I don't know, right? There was lots of different people having lots of different experiences. But the point is that to step into that situation and, for example, go around the world, leave your home, travel around the world with someone where from the get-go, within the contract, within the parameters of it, there is little, not nothing, but little that you are going to gain from it other than to give, right? That's problematic is how I see it. And of course it in a way just is going to lead to that kind of resentment, because those people and that person had sought sacrifice, they had not sought service. And there is no reason why, especially in these new energies, especially in these times, there's no reason why service cannot include gain, personal gain, gaining something from it. And it's part of the wisdom to know that gain doesn't have to be material. It doesn't have to be financial. You can gain an experience, travel around the world. You can gain giving this to so many people, participating in giving this to so many thousands, millions of people over time, right? There are so many things to gain, but there needs to be that awareness, the conscious awareness of how is this benefiting me? What am I getting out of it? How is this serving me, right? Serving, deservedness. What am I deserving of in this situation, and am I receiving it? And it is again a it's a fallacy. It is naive, Spirit is saying, very naive, to believe that we don't need that, because the self is so important. And we don't need to go into selfishness, we don't need to go into greed, but we just do need to have an awareness of what we ourselves are gaining, what's in this for me, right? Love, kindness, awesome. Time, awesome, right? It doesn't always have to be material, but that awareness is there because it's a form of wisdom. It really is. And we continue on with laughter, because laughter is spirit saying, listen, there's a reason why we're telling you this, because it's time to dispel energy. And laughter is a card that talks about dispelling energy through positivity in that sense, and specifically laughter with the card, right? But I feel like it's about light. It's about light chasing away the darkness. Beneficial insight, this kind of awareness, practiced in a balanced way, is really what so many of us need at this time to chase away a lot of darkness, a lot of programming, a lot of weakness, things that weaken us, that disempower us, where we disempower ourselves. And I was just thinking about, I studied business and politics, and when I wrote my thesis, I read an amazing book. Called The Spirit of Capitalism. And in The Spirit of Capitalism, they boiled it down and they said that basically, in order to explain adherence to capitalism, why the 99% show up to participate in really what's really the 0.0001%, but why people show up and continue, it could be answered by four basic questions. And I don't remember them specifically, but it would be something like basically, what do I get out of it? What do I get out of it? What do my kids get out of it? What how is this going to go? Can I see how in time this is going to give me stability, right? Is it a stable system, and so on and so forth? And so the book was describing that. And when you think about it, we're really simple creatures, right? If you follow the thesis of the book or not. But at the end of the day, the Spirit has a similar message talking about how we adhere to things because we do believe that there's something in it for us. There's a reason, there's a why. It doesn't not exist, right? There is never any why. It's just a matter of whether or not we're conscious of what the why is, or whether we've been conditioned not to consider it, or we've been conditioned to just apply the habit, the pattern of what the why is, because everybody does it, because it's popular, because it'll make me look cool, because it feels good, it tastes good, it's basic, right? We are animals, we're physical beings, right? So all of that is a part of it. But part of the laughter and energy that's coming in, and the beneficial insight, and integrating beneficial insight into your way of life, is to chase away a lot of those teachings and a lot of those things that are so toxic because they're extraneous to you. If you've ever seen like a video, for example, or experienced it in your own life, of course, but I saw a video yesterday, for example, of an abusive couple, and they were talking, and the abuser was telling his victim basically, it's like, continually, think of me, think of me, think of me, think of me, you're making me so mad, you're making me so sad, look, do you have any idea how upsetting this is for me? And like in their face, like with such violent energy, do you have any idea how upsetting this is making me, while throwing things in their face, treating them like trash in front of in public, right? And just not being able to place that person's interest in at any level, in any way, but while continually hyping up their own. And so what really struck me was that victim would be someone where you wouldn't tell them, leave. This is dangerous. Domestic violence is dangerous. You did leave. You're risking your life. You could get hurt. You could die. And it wouldn't work as much as saying leave, because in the video that person was arrested. Look, they're arrested. It's on their record now, on the police record. They could go to jail for this. They're in danger. That would resonate more than their own self-interest, because they're just programmed. And I was just watching it, and I was just wondering, kind of, because she was like, the abuser wasn't allowing them to contact their family, for example. So I was just thinking, but what family is that? What mother is that? What pattern is that? Where did this come from, essentially, right? What happened? It doesn't have to be the family. People also get bullied in school. There are life circumstances that also teach a certain way of relating to others and valuing the self and playing that out and so on. But it was just watching it. There was just something. There was something that had happened, and a way in which this woman had grown up that had disrupted her sense of self in such a way and to such a degree that her own self-interest did not factor into her decisions in the moment, in that situation, in that relationship, to the point that she was risking her life. To the point that there are police officers, and the police officers are saying go, but she was caught up in the drama and arguing with, you're drunk, you're doing this, you're doing that. And the police officers are like, go, go, go. And it didn't even look like, some extreme case, like, I don't know, trailer park, ghetto, what's it called, cliche things like, all these things only happen to poor people. No, they were both highly educated, they were well spoken, but here they were, right? Here they were, and here we are. And so many people, so many of us are in these kinds of situations and circumstances, myself included. Not to that extreme, but once upon a time, I've had my own share of stuff. Absolutely. And again, it's things to work through and to work out and to realize, I have this pattern, I have this thing, I have this here and that. It's part of the growth and the evolution, especially the path of healing. But there is something so fundamental about integrating the self-care, self-love, self-respect, self-trust, self-esteem, those kinds of things. They're like alarm bells, right? When your self-love is going ding 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 ding, when your self-respect is going ding ding ding, nobody talks to me like that, it's like something's wrong, right? And then it invites in. And that's the notion. The beneficial insight is like an alarm bell that can ring and let you know that you are being trampled on in some kind of way, you're being disrespected, you are being wronged in some way, on some level, right? And it is about allowing the positivity within the it's about allowing in the positivity within that insight, the insight of self-respect, of self-love, of self-trust, and so on, to drive out the negativity of the harmful and toxic behavior that we are accepting in the moment and participating in. And just when I was saying that, Spirit was saying, yeah, that it often is also a match, right? Um, yeah. I was going to go into narcissist and empath, but we're going to stay out of that one because there's more match between narcissist and empath than we realize. But it would be, okay, it would be the same notion, narcissist, empath. So the notion is the narcissist is this very selfish person that always takes from the giving empath. But part of the pattern of the empath is there's selfishness in the giving. There's identification in the giving. So it's the same core of selfishness that is playing out towards someone who is has a smaller sense of self and so on. And so that the dynamics that we meet, the dynamic of sacrificing myself, will meet someone willing to take it and willing to encroach more than their share. And also by allowing ourselves to be encroached upon, we are taking from the other person because they are also harmed in the act of taking, right? And that's, again, the notion of karma. And it's very different from our own human experience. I'm not victim blaming or anything like that. That's a completely different level. But at the level of karma, we participate in everything and we have ownership in everything. I am. This is my life. This is my being. This is my energy. I am co-creating this. We're co-creating everything. And so when we can learn to co-create for the purpose of gain, yeah, this is going to be the next card. Yeah. But we also come to understand is that there is gain for others. When you're seeking your own gain in everything, you can your own, yeah, your service, for things to serve you and everything, you become also so much better at identifying how it serves others and to just align with win-win outcomes. Because if you're looking for your own gain, your own highest good, why would you ever deny somebody else's theirs, right? They go together. And at the truest level, because of oneness, they are the same. We never ever benefit if anyone else is taken away from. It just doesn't exist in spiritual truth, and that is what we are trying to live according to, right? So takeaway, be your best self always. Yay. You see here, she's at the bottom of the ocean and there's pressure there, and this is spirit getting really really real. Really real, not just real but really real. And it's saying that make no mistake, this is not something to do, and excuse me, that must have been loud in your own ears, but it's not something to do, and yeah, it doesn't disrupt anything. It's something to do, and other people are not gonna like it. They're not gonna be happy, meaning there's gonna be some pressure from acting in this way. Oh, you're being selfish. Oh, you're only thinking about yourself. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Not only, but you're thinking about your own highest good. yeah, it's kind of the baseline. Of course, that should be part of my decisions and what I want for myself and what I seek for myself, and that's part of being our best self. It's like it's an adult thing to do. It's what grown-ups do, and we need to all stop being wounded children going out into the world, engaging with one another, relating with one another, but also creating things, creating products, creating goods, creating content, putting things out in the world from that space of woundedness. There is pressure in adopting this kind of perspective, this kind of way of being. Spirit saying to walk the earth in this way. There is pressure, but also look at that tremendous amount of beauty. Just this completely authentic, self owning, self loving aspect with all the colors in her hair. There is the potential for so much expansion, so much growth when we are including this, because at the most basic level, that's true. Thank you for the reminder, Spirit. Thank you. Spirit is always asking us that. Whenever we're co creating, Spirit is saying, what do you want, need, and deserve? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And we keep answering something that's not good for me, something that's not good for me, or I don't care if it's good for me, and so on. But that's what Spirit wants to give you. What's good for you? What's going to work for you? What's going to be beneficial for you? What's going to be healing for you, true for you, loving for you, and so on and so forth. So if we are not answering from that space, we ourselves are not in alignment, and we are blocking the natural flow of expansion within us, of us, but also in life that wants to co create bigger and better and truer with us every single moment. So, my love, that was the message that I had for you. That's what Spirit had to share with you today. And I would love to hear how you receive that. Like, I put the cards down and started talking for a good amount of time. But I do feel like these are messages that are very universal that most of us can relate to. And so it's an interesting space to end up the expansion theme. And I would love to hear, oh, for now, I heard. Okay, we'll come back to it. And I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. May you be blessed always and in always. And my love, I will be seeing you around.